So our little boy Owen, he was born September 2nd, 2008 in Myrtle Beach.
To me, he's like the hardest worker you've ever met. He's a little introverted and a little shy at times, but when you really get to know him, he's just like any other kid.
You know, they say every kid's different, and so at first we just thought, oh, you know, he's just quiet and calm and just
peaceful.
Not really driven to move much.
Comfortable in his crib.
Yeah. At 6 months old, his pediatrician finally decided that yes, she too thought that something was wrong with Owen, and thus began our 5-year search for a diagnosis. He had an EMG, an EEG, a muscle biopsy, he had MRIs, he had CT scans, he had everything, and we went and saw people in Utah, we saw people at UCLA, we saw people here in Nevada, and nobody could figure out his diagnosis. So we saw GI specialists, we saw geneticists, we saw neurologists, we saw, and most recently, pulmonologists. But the way we found our diagnosis actually was, I used to search on YouTube all the time for children similar to our boys, and I found a mom whose son looked similar to mine. And I contacted her, and she lived in Canada, and she said, you should go to the National Institute of Health. There is a doctor there by the name of Dr. Bonneman who specializes in congenital muscle disease. So I contacted him, and 2 months later we were flying out to Washington, D.C. Within 10 minutes of Dr. Bonneman seeing our boys, he knew exactly what they had. And he said they have congenital muscle disease called SEPN1, which is a form of congenital muscular dystrophy. And he said for the most part these kids do okay, but there is a huge diaphragm involvement that goes unaware, and you have to get a sleep study immediately. And so when we got back to Nevada, we saw Dr. Nakamura, who's actually the doctor who referred us to Make-A-Wish. He's a pediatric pulmonologist here in town, and he's amazing. And he got us in, we did a sleep study right away, and their oxygen levels were dropping into the 70s, and the CO2 that they were retaining was really high.
They basically weren't breathing at night when they were sleeping.
And we had no idea.
He takes his ventilator over to his friend's house. Okay, say bye, Owen.
Hello, I'm Owen. I'm Owen Robert Andre,
Okay,
and I'm gonna be putting my mask on.
okay, let's see it.
Typically kids don't have to be on BiPAP till 13, but our boys at 3 and
Yeah.
5.
Well, we're still, they're doing better with it, and they're getting through, you know. They're wearing their masks at night, and it helps them breathe, like we were saying, so.
Yeah, so registered, they're the youngest to have to be on BiPAP, but we see a huge positive difference. So we're happy that they're on it, and that they can use the science of that, you know, to help their health. So we think that there'll be a cure someday.
I'm actually going to get my doctorate so that I can help provide families in Nevada, because we don't really have any neuromuscular specialists here in town. We have a few pediatric neurologists, but not really pediatric neuromuscular specialists. So
I feel like we can make a change, at least help out.
Daddy's got you.
Look at Mom, yeah.
Look at Mama, look at Mama.
Count.
Yeah! Nice!
we asked Owen, you know, if you could have anything, what would you like to have? And he said he wanted a sports sanctuary in his backyard for Make-A-Wish, where he could do his swimming exercises.
And on top of the swimming, if we could go outside and then have an area that was already dedicated and already set up, where it was just the goals were there, the hoops were there, and just go out, grab whatever ball you want, and get it done, do your 15 minutes of workout, which turns into more like 3 hours when everybody else comes over. It would just make his quality of life that much better.
It'll impact him psychologically, emotionally, and physically. And to be able to have that in your backyard is a blessing that we could never, there's no words that would share our gratitude for that, because emotionally he's going to have to stay strong through those lovely teenage years. And to have the confidence that he'll build and have from his backyard is huge.